Hey YouTube, my name is Mel Milton. Welcome to my channel, Melmate Dukes. This is Duke Log 001, my very first process video. So I feel like I've unlocked an achievement. So I'm excited, but we'll see how it goes, and hopefully you'll find some value. So this first episode, I guess, will be me talking about my transition from Photoshop to Clipstudio, and if you're going through anything similar, if you would leave me in the comments of what challenges you're having if you're trying to make that change from Photoshop to Clipstudio, and do you find it worth it? You know, so to start off, I'll go. Why I was making the change to Clipstudio. Now, I've been in the creative industry for 20 plus years, and Photoshop has always been my go-to. I mean, I was a web designer. I was a character animator in video games. You know, T-shirts. I've done pretty much everything with Adobe products, and I was kind of disappointed when they made the switch to a subscription-based model. You know. Like Netflix, I feel like, yeah, that's fine. You know, you can have your hand in my pocket at all times because, you know, I like entertainment. But, you know, for my working stuff, I was like, you know, let me just own it outright. So I actually started with Krita first, which is a great program, but I haven't delved too much into it. And then I saw a discount for Clipstudio, and I did the trial, and I really love the drawing engine in Clipstudio. So that was the first thing that got me in it. And then the second thing was I got the EX version for, I believe I got it for $89. You know, and so it has the animation capabilities and a little bit more functionality that I probably don't need. But for $89, I felt like it was a great deal, and I just got my Mobile Studio Pro, so I wanted to give it a go. This painting right here, I've probably been into Clipstudio for I want to say a couple of months, but it was mainly the drawing because I'm still not used to the painting part of it. I'm so ingrained in Photoshop, the way I would paint in Photoshop, that switching to the painting part of Clipstudio is the thing that has been the challenge. But overall, thus far, I understand that if I'm going to learn a new program, that there's going to be frustration, or not everything's going to be exactly where I want it to be, and that's the kind of stuff that makes you go, why am I doing this? But for the most part, I found that even though I have my frustrations with Clipstudio thus far, it's, I'm thinking of it more like, just a hobby thing. More, I'm not putting pressure to be like, look, you have to use full time right now Clipstudio. I'm not trying to do that to myself. I see what it can do, and I get excited, and I'm like, I try to open up a little more and more every time I did it. This video, okay, so one thing I want to speak on, and another thing that I want to speak on is what is a Duke. So if you're coming from somewhere else, you're not coming from my social media, or from Instagram or Facebook, and this is your first time to my my spot, the term Duke is short for dookie or poop. So that's what I call all my art. And as an artist, I'm never satisfied with where I'm at with my art. So I everything, I call it a Duke. I just Duke something. I Duked today. I woke up this morning, Duke, popped one off. So so there's that. And this painting, I would consider, the epitome of a Duke, right? In all honest truth, when I started this out, I went in with the intent to make a video, and as I started, I realized I still hadn't even figured out where to place my my panels, and they didn't show up when I recorded. I don't know. Again, I'm new to OBS. I don't know why the panels didn't show up, but you can see me flicking around here and there. I also hadn't come across brushes that I felt really comfortable painting in. In Photoshop, I had a chalk brush, a round flat brush, and a soft round brush that I used, and that was and a pencil one that I used. So I used about 4 different brushes in Photoshop that got the job done for me, and it was really easy. I knew where they were. And so moving into Clipstudio, it's really robust. I mean, I like the feel of a lot of the tools that they have, but again, when you have that comparison in your mind, like, well, I don't have this, and it doesn't feel like what I'm used to, there becomes that frustration. So as I was painting this, my frustration kept getting higher and higher because I fumbled around with I can't remember how many brushes I had open, and I think I've whittled it down to 3 currently. One's a dry oil brush, a less dry oil brush, and the G pen, which I really like for drawing, but I like it for the blocking too. But I was trying to block with different types, and I wasn't blocking like I normally did. So issue number 1 that I had in making this video was I didn't have a game plan. I just started drawing. I was like, let's just draw and record it, and see where it goes from there. And where I'm at, right now in the video, I was like, what am I doing? I got to give this up. I'm done. This is it. And I actually wasn't going to even post it. After I'd made the video and I looked at it, I was like, who's going to watch this? This thing's a piece of poop. And again, I know, people are like, well, no, it turned out great. Or, it's good. But, again, because I didn't really have a game plan, it's not how I normally block stuff out. I was fumbling around. I didn't think that there was any value in it. And I do that with all my work. Every time I post, if you follow me on my social media, that's the feeling I got every time I post. People think I just post and I'm like, oh, yay, that was fun. No, I suffer from a lot of anxiety. A lot of people don't know that. And so I actually was just going to scrap this. But, again, I knew this one was basically the feeling I get on everyone where it's like, this didn't turn out the way I did it. I know I could have done better. And so I really wanted to post it just for that. And I was really surprised when I posted up and telling people I made a video of it. So, but I really wanted to speak about it. So here it is. I'm speaking on it, and I'm trying to do this in one take. So hopefully you're getting something out of it. So at this point, I'm finding some of the tools. Like I said, I think I whittled it down to like 3 brushes, and I was feeling a little bit comfortable. But you can see like that rotation right there where it rotates. I'm not rotating it on purpose. I think I think inside of Photoshop, I always use the Control plus and minus to zoom in and zoom out. And I notice I think it's when I hit Control minus that it rotates one way, but if you hit Control plus, it doesn't rotate the other way. So if you see it flipping like that, I was not doing that on purpose. I was like, what is going on? I haven't set up any keyboard shortcuts yet. Which is probably something I should have done, to feel a little bit more comfortable. But again, as I made this picture, I just, I was like, just do it with the uncomfortable, and I'll get to the point and let it go, And so I'm glad I did it. It's, and I'm glad I'm speaking on it because again, the process of even making this video, again, I went the hard way. So I used Blender for my video editor, right? Because that's another thing. I was like, I want to learn Blender because I come from Maya, and I was like, well, Blender's free and it's really powerful. But the problem with Blender is the same thing that I have, the same issue that I have with Clipstudio, and that's man, it's got so much, but it's really hard to find your way around it. So So I did the video editing. I'm trying to teach myself how to edit video in Blender, and yeah, it was this really convoluted way of doing it, and then I found an easier way, and again, it's taken me quite a while to get to that place. So my thoughts thus far, like you said, this is not I think this is probably my maybe third or fourth painting done with Clipstudio, and I'm actually enjoying it. I will stick with it. I'm hoping to do more of these videos. If there's something that you would like to, that I didn't speak on, or something that I could speak on Clipstudio, please feel free to leave some comments, or if there's things that you would find that would be helpful for me or other people, that are making that transition from Photoshop into Clipstudio, share your resources if you can. If you would, that would be nice. How I'm handling my learning on it is I've been taking what I know in Photoshop and then figuring out how can I do the same thing I did in Photoshop in Clipstudio, and that's the basis of my my transition thus far. But again, I hope to spend more time learning the ins and outs of Clipstudio. I want to animate in it, and I really would like to give it a shot animation wise, because again, I love the drawing tools inside of Clipstudio. I think one of the things which makes it uncomfortable, and if anybody knows something about this, please let me know. What I like about Photoshop is I could just right click and all my brushes were there. Like all the brushes that I used were there, and it was just in the right click. So I don't, if you know of a quick panel that I can customize and put the three brushes that I use, that would be really nice, because I think that was one of those things, because just traveling from panel to panel, it makes me lose my flow on how I work, and so if anybody's come across something that helps out with that, I would love to know. Other things. So another for this video, I recorded in landscape mode, and I'm working on my desktop. It has a hard time recording my screen and drawing, so I can't really do these on my desktop. But on my Mobile Studio Pro, it works just fine. But as I got used to Clipstudio, I started painting in portrait mode, because my Mobile Studio is more of a widescreen format, and I feel like I use the stuff better with in portrait mode. But for this video, I did it in landscape, so I was all over the place trying to orient all the panels and everything. So if you have any tips for how you do your recordings, or if you have any recording tips or things that you think that I can improve upon, please let me know. And if you don't want me to talk over these, please, yes, definitely let me know that, because I will go, and hopefully I'll bring some kind of information that is entertaining or brings value to you. I'm pretty much done at this point with this. I just throw on the little extra things because and what's funny is when I throw these little extra dots or lines, it's usually just out of sheer frustration. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and maybe I'll do another one. Until then, keep on keeping on.